greatest shit I ever wrote. Forever in the day. I'm on my last leg, Lord, please hear my plea. I'm desperate for a sign, show me something I can see. Cause this pain that I feel, it be too real. These niggas jealous, full of envy, and they do kill. If I gotta go, I'd rather be a martyr and hope my daughter pick the game up and push it harder. And though the track I slaughter, it's hard to walk the road. Lord, please take my hand or either take my soul. Cause this world is cold, even in a triple fact. But I know a grimy nigga died twice and came back. It's a no.
What up, though? Killers are TV. Today I'm on some. I want to kind of break down like what we doing out here, how we living. We actually in a period of time where we actually, it's called Frankism. And there was an ideology of a Jewish man named Jacob Frank. He actually, it starts way back around like 1905. See, what y'all gotta understand is that this foothold that they got on us, they ain't had it on us for a long period of time. There always been groups, but they've been always working toward to get to this point. So it wasn't actually until maybe like the let me see. (1913). So that's when the bankers got a hold. See, my man Rothschild, Mayor, I don't remember his first name, but he's a Jewish guy. And what Mayor Rothschild, one of his famous statements was like, if I control a country's money, I care not who make the laws. So like it's been an effort. First he had to get, you know what I mean, the European money and control the European bank. And how he was able to do that, it was like during Caesar time. Him and Caesar was doing their thing. It was Caesar time. Him and Caesar was doing their thing, and you know what I mean, Caesar got into the Masons or whatever, and he was doing all right. But eventually he got kind of beside himself, the same way Lincoln did, and he started printing up his own money, interest free. And at that rate, the Rothschild banks, you know what I mean, their money, it wasn't controlling France. It wasn't controlling how it was supposed to be. So basically, he basically set Napoleon up broking, and to the point of where Napoleon had to sell all his territory in the United States, which was known as the Louisiana Purchase. And then, so you get to the battle of, fast forward a little bit, you get to the Battle of Waterloo. Now this is how he got control of all the banks. And I mean, it's kind of gangster. It is gangster in the sense of like the programming that we've been done, but he finessed the shit out of all of us, out the country, out, you know what I mean? He told he was gonna get it, and he got it, but this is how he got it. When they was having the Battle of Waterloo, like Rothschild, he was the only one. They was funding both sides. One brother was funding the British, the other brother was funding France. So they had intel. They was the only ones that can cross both lines. So long story short, Rothschild had got the wire. He had got the telegraph, or the little bird with the note, however it was back then. But he had got the telegraph that the British had won the war. Like 24 hours or maybe a day and a half or so. He got it ahead enough in enough time to where the point that he finessed everybody. He did some slick shit. And what he did was that he knew that the British had won, but he called his people and he just started selling off his British war bonds. And that made it seem like the Britons had lost. So everybody else was peeping him out and trying to follow suit because they like, oh, he sold his bonds, so these bitches ain't about to be no good. I'm about to sell them while I could get my bread too. So everybody sold their shit. And as soon as everybody sold their shit, he bought every last one he could. Then when they came back and they found that the British actually had won the war, then all the value, he had all the stock and the values. He got so much money, he had to lick so much to where he owned all the money in Europe, the bank, you know what I mean, the British, he owned the Euro bank after that transaction. And then they married into the family, and that's how they became the royalty, so to speak. But it's always about controlling the money of the country. And like I say, they got ours. They got control of our country in 1913. And Andrew Jackson actually vetoed the bank. Well, that's another story. I'm gonna do a different video on that. Let me get back to the jank of Franks and the Frankism that we live in. Frankism is the ideology that believes that God is coming back. He'll come back quicker through sin. So the more sin that you do, the quicker it'll come back. And don't look this shit up. This is Jacob Franks. So when you wonder and you look around and think about all this shit that they be showing us, showing our kids, showing, you know what I mean, the sexuality, the violence, all the programming is like this. And this is why they putting it in our face like that. This is why they programming us to do it. When in all actualities, they doing it, but they doing it in a ritualistic sense where they're benefiting from both ends. They're benefiting from the rituals, and they're benefiting from our stupidity and us, what we doing to kill ourselves and what we doing to keep ourselves stagnant. And it's like, that shit crazy, man. And y'all be out here on some shit on me like I'm really fucked up. And half of y'all that be hating on me and with them little messages and stuff, y'all couldn't even tell y'all kids and nobody else what happened, you know what I mean, in your lifetime with the people who control your life, let alone anything in the past. So stop hating on me. So, yeah, in 1791, Hamilton he authorized and they passed the first private Bank of America, or United States, whatever it's called. But in 1791, that's what happened, and that's how they got their foot in the door. And no one actually knew it was the Rothschilds. They didn't even know until after the charter was up. And then when he didn't re-sign the charter, you know what I mean, he sent a note like, if you don't, y'all about to have a war on their hands. So actually, America ended up beating them, and they didn't have the charter. And he was out. So he wasn't controlling our system. And that was the first time. That was like, shit. In 1832 that happened. And like in 1835 was the first and only time that our books ever balanced. Like we ain't owe no country trillion. We had a surplus or some shit. So that was real gangster. Cause he vetoed that bank before, you know what I mean, they got to the duration. He literally kicked them out. And then he tried to come with the army, and he kicked them out that way too. You know what I mean? At the same time, though, he was battling Napoleon, so he couldn't send enough troops. But that war, it crippled us financially. So by then, it's Lincoln time. And that Civil War was gangster because it was funded by two of the Rothschild brothers. Nathan and James, I believe. James funded the South, and Nathan funded the West, either vice versa, but it was those two brothers that funded the North and the South for that Civil War. And the main thing about from when Jackson vetoed the bill, they spent, the last little bread they had defeating his army before he vetoed that bill. So by the time he vetoed that bill, eventually that next go around they had to end up accepting the charter anyway, because when they sent the troops, used up all the money defeating the troops, so the charter got back on. But it was effort from Jackson for a few years, and we was free of them for a few years. But come around, Lincoln time, it was a little bit, they was back, but Lincoln was trying to get them out too. He was trying to take steps to get them out. That's when he made the greenback. And the greenback was an interest-free note the same way Hitler did. I mean, not Hitler, the same way Caesar did. And with that, we was going to have our economy back. And they couldn't let that happen. Mayor Rothschild said first, he said, if you control their banking system, I don't care who make the laws, I control them. So basically all the wars that we've ever had since the French Revolution has been inspired by, you can call it the Illuminati, but it's really a combination of three groups. It's like the group that caused the Frankism, the Franksis, the Freemasons, and the Rothschilds. And within those three groups, they have formed this planet. They've already controlled over 75% of the banking on this planet. Well, as far as the planet that we have access to. It's gonna be a struggle, man, to get it back. It's kind of like, at the end of the day, it's all about money. And then I know for one, we all needed to go around. But what we really, really need to understand is that we existed and we was one, and we did things before money. If we turn our back on it, we'll be at that state again. It's not going to be without revolution, without change, without restructuring of the whole plane or planet, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. Killer Czar. Killer Czar TV. Thanks for watching.
One love. Young love. Dirty. Fresh. The realest shit I ever wrote. Forever in the day. I'm on my last leg, Lord, please hear my plea. I'm desperate for a sign, show me something I